give YouTube a minute to spool up.
Okay. Sounds good.
So, while we're waiting for that, excuse me, what I'd like you to do is, if there's any particular topic that you are curious about, have a question about, an area that, where you think if you could move through that, you'd, have that shift in more dynamic presence of yourself than you did before. So if you have any suggestions, point me in the direction you want to go.
Well, the thing about it is that this pandemic came at the weirdest time of my career.
Okay.
Because my lease is up on May 31st. And I want to find a new place and not have the same type of business, but have it. In other words, what the pandemic has done, not just for me, but for many people, I believe,
Okay.
is that it's changed their dynamic on how they're going to view their next few steps.
Yeah. Okay. I've got that, but so let me go with that for a little while, and then you can interrupt me and turn me in a better direction if you like. So the reason why I was kind of reluctant to delve into the pandemic is the full attention of our bodies, and the body's in the body's in a state of unknowing and fear. Okay, so the body isn't the boss. You're supposed to be in communion. Right. You're supposed to be in communion with your body in such a soft, gentle, appreciative, grateful, and divine way that your body's not freaked out over public discussions of, what might be horrible outside your front door,
it's like when I go out, Dave, it's like I feel I'm all consumed by it. And if you're going to die, you're going to die.
Yeah, I know, but it's... Okay, so what you're saying is you want to hold on to that fear because it's so real. It's so much of an option that your life might be taken away from you, against your will. So what I'd request from you is let me riff on that a little bit. Let me run with that so that I can move to a higher level of consciousness for myself, so I can speak a little more eloquently about this rather than my personal opinion and political opinion and societal opinion on what's right and wrong with the virus and what's right and wrong about the people that are here who are dealing with it. But the reason I'm doing this is for us not to be concerned about what's freaking our bodies out, but instead be concerned about what is not there that would inspire them to be grateful to be alive instead of afraid.
Yeah.
So why don't we move from afraid to be alive for any reason to grateful that we are alive, regardless of our circumstances, even if we just have 30 seconds to go before we check out because of one virus or a bullet or a car crash or whatever. So let's look at what it is that is so impossible about us being in a state of gratitude for our lives, for our ability to live our lives and have these experiences, regardless of whether we consider them difficult or not. So let's move first into a state of consciousness where we can appreciate the fact that we're alive and we have a body to direct around and we're here to do something fucking magnificent. How about that?
I love it.
Okay, so let's move in that direction. We're here to do something magnificent, even though, you could judge me a million times, and rightly so, for that likely not being an option for me. Are you kidding me, right? So,
yeah.
So regardless of what crowd opinion is of someone that it thinks is a part of the crowd and will thus never deviate from it and will therefore move in complete harmony with everybody's projections that they put on him on how and where he'll interact with life and how much success he'll have. So let's divorce ourselves from public opinion first, okay? Because the opinion of public that's negative to us is so far beneath our nature, our true nature, to give in to an interaction with it. Yeah, that's what people of that same level of consciousness do to each other, and they fight each other sometimes to the death. Okay, so what? Does that make it incumbent on us that we have to join in that when we're here? Just because somebody's emphatic about what the truth is that they're proposing that everybody else have to adopt despite their perceptions and experience to the contrary? You know, everybody's here trying to impose their reality on the other person, saying, you're right, you're you're wrong, I'm right. I'm good, you're bad. Good has to be in control because, you know, it just can't be you. It can only be me. And so when every me wants to be the one that decides what reality is, not just for themselves, but for others, and then that me is moving that way because it's stuck in fear, then you've got a recipe for disaster. Every win that you have is actually a loss. You can't reign in hell. You can only suffer. You know, you can't reign in hell. Okay. Oh, even the devil's sorry he did it. Oh my God. Oh, he's saying, God, help me out of here. I screwed up bad this time. Yeah, God says, yeah, I know. I watched it every step of the way. It was fucking hilarious. And what you did to yourself, how you almost completely destroyed yourself into a being that completely and forever incapable of ever awakening again. You know, so let's lay off the judging others and saying that everybody else is the devil or Hitler or something like that. Because if you do that, you've just bought a lifetime pass to the world as it is. And fuck me, no, thanks for me. I'm sorry I said that because I've got a lot of friends that are religious and hate that words. And so I apologize, you know. Have that be the last one then. So what I've been talking about is you who you're going to be here for the rest of your life. And not something where you're going to slightly improve yourself here and slightly improve yourself there. Either you're going to continue on the way that you have been, very predictably by yourself and others, or you're going to take a leap into the unknown and you're going to dive into the depths of darkness until, you know, you find the light at its core that frees it, that frees your limitations, your darkness, your barriers from your heart, from your idea of yourself, from your identity and ego, you know? Why should any of that limit us and make us forgetful and frankly, not a very good human being? The more you awaken, the better behaved you're going to be to yourself and each other. You'll find out a way that there is a way where everyone wins, where there's nothing to be gained in conflict except a loss of consciousness and a fall from freedom into slavery again, slavery to an insane game that nobody in their right mind would play. So let's let go of that too. Let's let go of the fact that we're in battle and conflict with everybody we know? Where's our safe space? Where's our safe space? So again, so this video is about awakening, if somebody even lasted this long, and what we're discussing is meant for us to go back to, so that we can further the experience of it until it becomes us. And so this is for me and for Anna and for you, for anybody that watches us. It's an invitation for us to take whatever step is necessary for ourselves to move in the direction of freedom for our mind, for our body, for our soul. You know, freedom where we're awakened enough to where we're not in a state of unconsciousness and subject to silly emotions like revenge and hurting somebody else for any reason. You know, if you came here divinely aware and you took a body and you put yourself in the middle of a chaotic situation and somehow you got injured or killed, you know, you still wouldn't be part of it. You would just have made a miscalculation for some reason, or wondered what it would be like to have a life that begins and ends that way so quickly. But regardless of all of that, where is our next choice point, where when we make a choice it will occur for us? Is there some way of identifying them exactly when they are? And then from there, is there a way to increase those number of moments in our life, the moments where we're clear, where we're cause, you know, where we're in a state of knowing and being in harmony with nature and reality, so that we're moving through nature and reality, not cautiously, not competitively, not destructively, but where we're in appreciation for everything being the way it is, and so amazed that it was able to be done that way. And in that amazement, in that wonder on how something could be so much like it is, that level of approval is impossible to open your arms and embrace, you know. And so, as horrific it was what it was you just experienced, you know, when you experience it divinely, you know, when you experience without resistance and open arms and without judging others and without judging your own self because of the level of consciousness that you are when you're there doing that, you just accept it like you would a movie. It was an experience, and it was what it was, good, bad, or both. So it was what it was. Why are we worrying about it? Let's let go of that worry. You feel that worry in you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Let it go. It doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah, the uncertainty of it all. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So, at our base level of consciousness right here, our social selves, right? You know me, you think, wow, you know, there's something there about David that's worth experiencing more of. And I go, you know, there's something about Anna where I'm just saying, you know, there's a way to move freely there at some points. And so there's an access point for me where somebody is open to experience freedom for themselves. And so when those consciousness and when those personalities and when those bodies get together in sync, where they're both in a state of free expression, where they're both in a condition of openness to everything, then those consciousnesses that you move into a harmonic resonance with at the highest level, you know, that's what you're here to play at and play with. Everybody else who can do that. And who can do that? I don't know. You know, this is my effort to put my toe in the water, so to speak. And so do it. Put your toe in the water and say, what is it that's worthy of the name divine? Even if you're an atheist, pretend that you're not, and that you were a true believer, which means you didn't know and you only hoped. So, as a true believer who hopes and knows a little bit that there might be something really wonderful besides this, know that you're here as this and quit worrying about the future. That's idiotic. Your experience is this, and your experience is now. Well, what happens after you die doesn't matter a bit now, because this truly will not affect it in any way if you wake up here. It will not create a bad effect when you die and have to go somewhere else if you were somehow to have awakened in a enlightened, benevolent, wise manner. Why not that? If it's possible. And you don't know if it's possible until you take a good look at it. And as you take a good look at it, what happens is you gain a level of understanding on what can happen and what can't, and when and how long, and how much it takes for some particular thing to happen. And so you look at the possibilities and say, oh yeah, that's there. It's there for everybody, no question about it. Then you say, okay, from who and what I've been here and who I am in this moment, what are the steps? What's the pathway to that freedom that makes it happen as soon as possible for me? And you ask the question, and you don't have to be in fear, and you don't have to worry, because the answers are going to come, and they're going to encourage you to make it easy on yourself by walking in a manner that is conscious and free. One that is looking to experience their life with grace and joy and enthusiasm. How about that?
Beautiful. Life with grace. I love that.
Grace, joy, and enthusiasm. Grace, joy, and enthusiasm. That's your theme. That's what's for you. I'll make a painting of it for you. Grace, joy, and enthusiasm. That's your 3 words. I'm going to paint on a painting as word art, because I think I'm a wordsmith, a word artist, and so I'm going to put them permanently on paint, and I'll send you a photo of it in a few days. I'm going to go buy some paint and canvas tomorrow. So public announcement, I'm restarting my art career, if in fact I'd ever started it in the first place, because all I ever seem to do is sell other artists' art, even dead ones,
Yeah, I know.
God help me. So I have painted for years and years and years. I don't think I ever signed anything, and I didn't sell anything as mine. But it's time for me to say who I am, who I'm going to be for the rest of my life. And let me take a stab at it. I'm going to keep doing this until it truly gets so good, it's a wonder to everybody. Okay? So that's my aspirations for my spiritual unfolding and opening. For my career, if that isn't my career, but for my career, I'm actually ready to paint, ready to create. And since I'm not very good at painting figures, and I thought, what I'm going to do? I saw some word paintings I really liked that I thought were inspiring, and I thought, man, I've sure got a lot of phrases that I've coined, and I'm going to paint them as my paintings, and I'm going to be an artist, and so that I can do what I share, like right now, for free. It doesn't have to be my living. I don't have to exchange value with anybody. It can just be a gift.
That's such a beautiful thing.
Won't even make them watch a commercial. Yeah, well, why not? Why not imagine the greatest good that you could do here? Why not imagine what the possibilities for humanity are, and what your place in that could be, and how high up the mean average you could climb that, even if things went in a quantum better way for everybody. Just so, not as a competitor, but just as owning your own possibilities. What are they? What are they if you just dropped everything as is right now and transcended? Where's that next step on the stairway to heaven, or that expansion into greater cosmic consciousness, a more enlightened way of experiencing yourself? I'm not suggesting that I have the answers, but sometimes when I keep talking, they come out anyway. It doesn't matter whether you know or don't know. If you start saying it, sometimes it just comes out. Even when you don't know.
Well, you said owning your own possibilities. That's very profound, actually.
Okay, so we'll put that on your other second painting. Okay, so where can we go with this from here where we are right now? We're 20 minutes in, and we did that first segment, we'll call that. What makes sense for us to address after, kind of coloring outside the lines in that little work of art? Do we just say that, hey, we're trying to turn over a new leaf. We're trying to find a way to make our life more bearable to ourselves in a wise way, in a smart way, in a way that benefits the highest good for everyone. And so it's where we begin our lives with that as our motto. What is the highest good for everyone? This is the question I ask myself before I speak and before I move. So if that becomes our mantra, if that becomes our way of moving here, then that's how we experience ourselves here. And it's real, and it's true, and it's the you that you'll be when you let go of that which does not truly serve you. When you let go of all the things that are in pain and unconsciousness, you feel it, you own it, you acknowledge your creation, then you say, I'm done with that. There's a new season on here. And my show just got picked up. Right? Your show got picked up, Anna. Your show got picked up. Your show got picked up. You didn't die of coronavirus. And even if you do, that'll be your great work and your final expression of how a divine being could come here and die magnificently. Even if it's a virus that does it to you. How do you move in a magnificence when you're being physically destroyed, when you're being mentally attacked, when you're being opposed at every turn? How do you move?
Very, very, very good question.
Well, I think my first impulse is to say you move slowly. And my second influence is to say you don't move at all. You acknowledge that that's your circumstance. Then you say, what's a graceful way to improve this from where we are? To move this into a better state of being. What do I have to do? Okay, so what do I have to do? Man, I have to get up earlier in the morning. And I have to show up to work. And I have to decide what's important for that day to accomplish. And then I have to do it. Oh, but I don't want to do that. It's what my subconscious is saying. I don't want to do that. Why? Because you're not living the life that you came here to live. If we get into support with that, then the life that you live will not be the one that you came here to be. And when you look back on it from your higher self state of consciousness, you go, damn, I did it again. So the reason why we're talking is we're both saying, so far life hasn't been good enough, not by a long ways. And it seems to be our fault. My life is my fault and I'm not doing well. How do I turn that around? How do I turn this around? How do I turn it around? How does life go well for me now? What do I have to change? What do I have to acknowledge? What is there in me that is preventing myself from going forward? What thoughts, what ideas, what beliefs, what feelings, what emotions? What is there inside of us that's so compelling that we can't move beyond it? That we can't do anything other than suffer, unconsciously and consciously? for it being there within us like that. So we have to look at our pain, our sorrow, our troubles. And we have to say, oh my, I really balled it up this time. But it was me. I did it. And it doesn't feel so bad. It doesn't feel so bad when you admit it to yourself. Because you let go of all that resistance to pretending to yourself that you didn't do it.
Choices always dictate.
Choices always dictate. So the question is, how do you choose in a new way to act in a better way for you? How do you manage your time? What do you spend your time doing? What's important that you do? And how do you get yourself to do it? Well, you really have to find out what is really necessary for you. And so you have to confront yourself intimately to find out what that is. And for me, it's been this, this is the second live one for me. And, even though there's only, one or none people watching this, I think sometime, some way, they will. And I want, do I need anybody to know that I was trying to do my best to solve this? No, because that would be an admission of failure. That you go out and die having fought the good fight and been killed in battle. Yeah, there's noble deaths, and it's okay to get killed in battle, but is that why you came this time? I mean, forget the past. It doesn't matter how relevant and how much you love to do that in any previous lifetime, if you had any previous lifetimes. But what is it that allows for a near instantaneous transformational change without having to figure out everything about all of the barriers and disruptions and disharmonies within your body, within your mind, within your subconscious, your incongruency. How do you move incongruency in a quick, light, easy shift? What would congruency be like for me? And how would I act if I were congruent? Well, it'd certainly be experiencing the life that I came here to be, and be giving what I came here to give. And so this is still the beginning of that, and I'd like to say it's sincere, but it's probably more selfish than anything, but not in an egotistical way, but in that I believe that this is the way that I'm going to open the fastest, where the more miraculous the transformation becomes with the more people that you share your own free expressions with. So freely express. Freely express. And then go within and say, what's next? It's for the highest good. I'm not going to get confused. I'm not going to get confused in trying to how to best my opponent. I'm going to say, what's the highest good here for everybody, including me?
Dave, I'm not kidding you. I just recently started to say this to myself.
Wow.
Because of the time that we are having to go within. And I said, it's so weird to do that.
Good for you. Well, that's why I'm able to speak so freely, is because you've been clear for a long time on the fact that spiritual beauty and grace is real, and not only real but knowable, and not only knowable but achievable as a personal experience of yourself. So that's what you're choosing to move into. You're choosing to move into a space of transformation where all of the false stories and lies and limitations that were put upon you, that were not from a place of a grace of mutual freedom, came from a lot lower level consciousness of that. And so it goes away as you open into your heart blossoming again, your heart flowing with love and light and laughter and
That's a beautiful
and wisdom. Yeah.
phrase that you said, your heart blossoming. Wow. Beautiful.
Okay, that's the next painting then. Okay. And your heart blossoms.
Yeah.
Okay,
I
so
just saw all these flowers coming out of my heart,
yeah.
Petals with different flowers. Yeah.
Love American Style, that came to mind for some reason. That was a while back, wasn't it? Okay, where are we going from here, Anna? What direction would you like me to take this in?
Well, I think that we're moving, and you could tell me if you said this, but I believe that this time that we're entering as the full moon is coming up next week, there's a transition, a healing, a new way of looking at the world. Will never be the same, We've gone, a lot of us have gone within.
Well, let's just say that that may be true, it may not be true. But what I can tell you for sure is that it's true for you if you let it. But until you let it, it's not true, even though it's true. Does that make sense? It's a paradox. The truth of you can't allow yourself to be. And so the truth of you is a lie.
Whoa.
The one that you're living. So if the truth of you is so embarrassingly not dark but light, and you don't know how to hold on to your idea of your sense of self, your personality, you can't even remember who you are when you move into close proximity with that state. And so it's scary. The scariest thing in the world is embracing the divine. That's why I've never been able to do it. It's terrifying. Because as soon as you come close, you start to dissolve into nothing, it feels like. Every sense of self just burns off and falls away, and you go, who am I? So it's funny. And it scares you the hell away from heaven. There's your next one. Scared the hell away from heaven. So that's what we do to ourselves. We're so afraid at one time of our darkness and at another time of our light, but not in a somehow that's done in an egoic way. Like, I'm so sparing you people because I'm not showing you how magnificent I really am. That's the egoic point of view of it. The other point of view of it is you're here and you love it. And you love your life. And you love everything that you see, because you go, oh my God, where did they have to be to come up with that? And you sample it and you go, oh my goodness, what a bunch of crazy people, right? What a bunch of crazy people being who they are so they can have the experience that they're having when they never, ever once looked at what was possible for them truly. Or they would have chose it. They accepted who their parents and their friends and their church and their schools said that they were. Oh, okay, I get it. If I look this way and talk this way and act this way and walk this way and don't say these things and say these things, then I'm going to fit in and everything's going to be okay for me and I'm going to get along and be in harmony with society and society's going to love and care for me and protect me. Is that how it's going to be? And then it never is, but we all conform anyway. Right?
Yeah.
Okay, so be done with that. Dive into your darkness and sit in that pain and unconsciousness until you notice the divine light within it. And as you focus your awareness on that divine light within the depths of your deepest, darkest, most nightmarish darkness, it's there and you're going, oh my God, I did this too? Oh my goodness. No wonder I wanted to forget about this. No wonder I wanted to go unconscious. This is truly awful. And I did it. And then as soon as you notice that it's truly awful and you took responsibility that you did it, then guess what happens to it? The light in the room comes on and everything starts to become clear that was unclear. Everything starts to lighten up that was heavy. Yeah, I did this. I did all of this. I did it all to me. I did all of it, all of it, all of it, all of it. The more you move into that, the freer you become. And if you just keep becoming free on that, then it could it ever possibly be a lie? I don't think so. I did it all to myself. I did it all to myself. And it's okay. It's all right. All of this I did, and it's okay that I did it. And it seems like it's over now. No longer necessary. No longer needed. No purpose left to fulfill. Just oh my God, now what do I get to do? I can't wait. So have that effect on your limitations. Have that effect on your connections here. How? By connecting with that which is transcendent and free. Doesn't matter how you name it. You know, you can, as an atheist, you can call it an unbelievable level of consciousness worthy of the word cosmic. A truly, completely utilized and efficient intellect and mind. You know, so if that's the best you can think of for yourself, then focus on that until you know it. And when you know it, then you'll understand it. When you understand it, you'll be able to be it, and then thus be free of the limitations and in control of what you want to create there. You see? Went down the rabbit hole a little bit on that one, I think. Okay. But what would best serve us right now? You know, I'm in such a bunch of trouble on every front, you know, myself. So I have to start solving things. And how can I be in a state where I'm solving them easily? That's what I need. I need to be in a state where I'm solving them easily. How much do I have to take responsibility for? How much do I have to wake up? How much do I have to shift? And how do I shift my consciousness from this chronic level that it's always at? How do I just pop out of that? Because I don't want to be the me that I've been here anymore. Not one more moment. I want it to change right now. Not one more moment. Not one more moment. Not one more moment. Said 3 times on the next painting. Not one more moment. That's the command. You're sick and tired. You're sick and tired of being yourself. I'm sick and tired of being myself. There's the next painting. Oh,
Sometimes we say that to ourselves when we get in a rut, yeah.
well, I don't know about you, but I'm always in a rut. So it works. So it works for me every time I say it. Okay. So my art career is starting. I guess I'm going to go buy some canvases and paint, start painting that stuff up.
I can't wait
And
to
imagine what an honor it will be to own the very first few paintings that I do. How lucky would that person be, or those people be? Man, they'd fight each other for a little piece of that painting if they had any respect for me. But let's just say that, you know, those with a nice credit card will be able to buy one. And then I'll just do this stuff all the time until somebody benefits from it. So how can it benefit you? What can I invite you to open into that would be something that you thought you weren't worthy of, but then in your experiencing it, realize that you never had to be worthy of it because it was already true. You just lost focus of it, and so you quit experiencing yourself as that. You just lost focus, that's all.
Yeah, very true.
You know, you jumped
My
in.
second poetry book.
Yeah, you jumped into a body and freaked out. You know, you freaked out. You know, whoa! This is too much. This is too much to be this solid and this. Oh, flip! Cellular memories going back billions of years, all shouting for my attention. You know, it's tough to be here and maintain your consciousness. Or is it? How do you, how when you open up and experience your first state of, wise enlightenment, and where you just know and you go, oh my, is this delicious, right?
Right.
When that happens to you, why not stay there? Why not let the past truly not matter? Meaning there's no matter to it. There's no energy to it. There's no chemical composition. There's no mineral composition. It doesn't matter, which means it doesn't exist anymore. Whatever doesn't exist anymore in this moment doesn't matter. So fly free. Fly free, man.
Fly free. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, well, I like this way of getting ideas for my paintings. And I like the idea of finally marketing an artist that I can control, whether or not I can control paint, whether or not I can control paint or not. I can control the artist that applies the paint in a less than precise way, less than a perfectionist would do, but more like a creator would do. One that just moves and is happy with the impression that the movement left. So that's my theory as an artist, to move.
Yeah.
To move the paint. And regardless of what happens to it, be happy with that movement and say, there it is. I move that paint that way into expression. And it might have happened a little bit differently than my intention was, but I still did it. I chose it, I moved it, and it happened like this. So that's my artist statement, to find a way to move yourself in such a way that you make an expression that others appreciate as actual art. How's that?
I think that's well stated.
Okay. You want to be my art dealer?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah, that could be fun.
Perfect. Yes.
Yeah, I know some galleries, that's for sure. Some friends of mine.
Yeah, and then you can say,
know.
look at this guy. Here's our conversation. Here's what he said. And here's the paintings that came out. Isn't that the coolest thing ever? Now, see, I'm speaking here now, promoting myself as an artist, of course, not as a shaman or a spiritual adept. You know, I'm just saying that no matter who you are, the body's alive and it has needs. And, you know, I don't like charging for this, but I've always charged for art. And so, time to make this into art so that somebody wants a physical reminder of it, that they walk past every day and say, hey, buddy, you remember yourself here, and open, and be wise. Now that's a masterpiece painting. And that's what happens when you open. Even a guy like me can open and have some poetry come out, have some grace flow, have a epiphany and say something that is meaningful in their own and anyone else's search for truth and light and guidance and, you know, their own free expression, you know. That's what we all should be for each other, a support for the free expression, for the other person to achieve something worthy, something great, you know, something that is in harmony with life.
Right.
Let's be in harmony with life. And let's not be disagreed on what that means, you know, because if you choose a meaning that's oppositional to somebody else's meaning, then all you've got is a fight, because you don't even understand what each other is talking about.
Right.
So I was talking for myself there, you know. That was a big issue for me, and I'm moving through it right now.
Good to hear.
And that's why I have to do these. You know, if I wasn't talking to you, then I wouldn't have confronted whatever I just confronted in my experience of being me. It wouldn't have come up. And I had to confront it in order to have the freedom that I wanted. And so I had to have somebody to interact with, you know, somebody to say, yeah, go for it. You know, somebody that says, yes, I want this same thing myself. I've been moving in that direction already. I enjoyed the little push and the reminder and the confirmation and the recognition that I see you and you see me, and we're both moving in the same direction, not together, but aligned. Aligned, yeah. Same in purpose, you know. We're going for it all, you know, going for it all. Not owning the world, but owning ourselves, owning our wholeness, owning the fullness of what it can be to be us at our very best in every way. You know, how does that happen? Well, that's what I do. I ask the questions and then I wait for the answers to come.
That's a good way of doing things.
And I've been asking the wrong questions for a long time, because I've been asking how to make the life that I've been leading better. And because of the way I was connected in life, it could only go a certain direction. And that direction wasn't in fulfillment of my own life's dream. And there wasn't a compromise left that could allow that to happen for me. And so we had to disagree and say, no, that's not my truth, that's yours. And we're too opposed to each other now to see a way of freedom, so maybe we can be graceful and find a way to be graceful, each one of us, in moving our lives forward. That's what I want for myself, and that's what I want for everybody. I wouldn't say it to you just to make you think that I was holding you out to be special. I'm not. Regardless of how special they are, everyone is at their nature when they reconnect and realize the truth of themselves, will know themselves as something worthy of the phrase God consciousness. And so if that's everybody, then and that's our ultimate destination. That's who we actually are when we're not in this play, where we're acting as if we're something other than, a conscious moving wisdom. So let's notice that is what we are. Consciousness moving in wisdom. And as we notice that that's true, all of the past that we've had that wasn't that, even before our call today, that doesn't need to stay the same now. It can change right now. The you that you were can be over, and the you that can be can fly free here and now. So dive off the cliff into the unknown and find out that you are the definition of flying free. Anna Jonathan Livingston Seagull Freebird. Not the cuckoo bird. That's me. The free bird. A cuckoo bird, he comes out regularly and dependably, and not a free bird. A free bird flies free. And that's not cuckoo. It's cuckoo to stay in one spot. Why be a bird and do that? Kind of defeats the purpose, right? Your reason for being is to fly. Okay, so you just chose to open, or at least that's what it feels like to me. So stay in that. You just chose to open, or at least that's what it feels like to me. So what I want to feel is the experience of you opening, and then noticing that opening is a good thing for you physically.
Yeah.
It releases tension from everywhere.
Amen.
So you open. You say, okay then. I'm ready to experience my life.
I'm ready to experience my life.
Oh, yeah, okay, one more.
I'm ready to experience my life now.
Hey, you're the dealer. You're the dealer, not the director. Or the writer. Come on, behave. Yeah. Don't worry, be happy. Okay, that's my answer to your first question. There, the first time I copied somebody. Okay. So you actually have to willingly experience your presence in the body. And that's what I'm doing right now. I have my eyes closed. And I'm just letting myself feel what it is to be me. And when I do that, I feel the horrible thing that it is. But it's dissolving so quickly. It's dissipating, it's going away. That it's actually almost a pleasurable experience. And the more we do it, the more I do it, the more I think it'll get more pleasurable then. So let yourself go. The prerequisite for the future is letting go of the past. There's another one.
True. Okay.
Because you never get the future if you're locked on to the past. The future is your dreams and your desires for a better you. And that's forever out there when you allow your past to own you.
Yeah, true. True that.
So you're right on the verge of having a new freedom. You got a lease expiring and you're going to go someplace or renegotiate or something's going to happen.
Yeah.
But the point is that you have a choice.
Amen.
And then you have to look and say, this is a second chance. If this lease wasn't ending, I'd be here till I died. So is this what I really want to keep doing? Do I want it to get bigger? Do I want to get smaller? Do I want it to be here or there or anywhere? Or do I want to try something altogether new? Altogether new. Altogether new. That's the right answer. Mm-hmm. Does that mean you have to hurt or disappoint anybody in your past?
Better not to disappoint yourself, right?
No, it's not a choice.
Yeah.
If you open all the way, you become a movement of grace and wisdom. Then anybody who objects to that will pretty soon change their mind because they'll keep getting good back from you for every vicious thing they do. You see?
True.
Reality will change when you do. And all we have to do is admit that we're not happy with what we created before, even though we own it completely. We want to be done with who we've been so that we can move on to who we came here to be. We want to move on instantly if that's possible. How much can we open right here and right now? How much can we open? If you ask questions like that, you'll be ready to go unconscious again, and then you'll wake up even more. You go, oh, that was a good question to ask. So you should put those good questions to ask on paintings too.
Mhm. Oh my goodness, that would be great.
Yeah. Okay. And I have tens of thousands of pages of little clever sayings. I've been pretending that I'm going to get ready to do this for 20 years. and I'm saying that doing this tonight is doing it. You know, it's the beginning. I hope that you find this beneficial enough to yourself that you share it and introduce it to your friends and say, hey, let's have David over for an evening for the group of us and do this as a group thing. I think it would be great for us. You know, wouldn't that be nice to find a way to pull a group of people who are already friends, who already like each other, who already support each other, and have a shared experience of a truly momentous thing, you know, that of being completely one and in sync with each other. And that can then become the defining factor of our new group of friends and our relationship with each other. You know, let's see if we can try that on for your group, for your friends. Let's see if that leads us into the experience of that. And if it does, then hallelujah, right? Imagine a group of friends that are able and capable and supportive and mutually celebratory and just saying, oh man, that was awesome. Good for you. And we need to choose to awaken enough for that to be something that we're willing to experience. Because at our normal level of consciousness, we can't allow that for ourselves because we know we don't deserve it. And from the level of consciousness that we've been, from the people, from the personalities, from the egos that we've been moving here as, we don't deserve it. And it won't change until you do. And there's nothing you can do to deserve it from that level of consciousness. It's a bit of a conundrum. Until you know that it's not about you doing it. When you get yourself into such a mess that even when you take absolute responsibility for it, it doesn't free you from it, then you have to ask, is anything free anywhere? Is anything in a state of grace anywhere? In any time, in any dimension, in any reality, in any universe? And when you ask that question, then you feel the energetic response of the entire universe coming back to you and saying, yeah, man, it's like this. You go, okay, thanks. Help me open into that. Help me have an experience of my body feeling what it is to be embraced with divine love by a being that's noticing me and caring for me and noticing that I'm choosing to open and be free. And so is here to say, good for you. Good for you. I'm here for you in that. Opening. Openings are beautiful things. There's another one. So it would help if more than one person saw this. It would certainly be encouraging for us to move forward. You know, if you shared that with the people who you should share it with. So, you know, I know that's obnoxious to say it, but, you know, please do it. You know, I want to move further. I want to move further in this direction. And you're a good option for me. You're a safe option for me. Because I know that you don't have any guile. I know that you're not going to try to enslave me or entrap me into any sort of cause, you know, where you're saying this is the most important thing in reality. You need to drop everything about yourself that you're being true to and do this instead. You know, I know you're not going to do that to me. Because people who are awake support each other's dreams. They don't give them to them. They say, what's your dream for you, man? How good can it get? How high can you fly? How much can you achieve? And what makes life worth living and loving and celebrating for yourself? And let's move you in that direction. What can I do to help?
Yeah.
Now that's the way a real friend would be. And if you can be that friend, ooh, to anybody, man, you're going to start being great company to this world.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
Okay.
Thank you, Dave.
Are we done?
Oh, I thought you were wrapping it up.
Well, I kind of was, I guess. I keep thinking maybe there's something better that I could say, something to be more positive, something that would actually push us over the edge and be done with this, spiraling up incrementally and greater, experiences of freedom, but still pretty pathetic, And so a new beginning for me, whether you're my art dealer or somebody else is, or a lot of somebody else's are, I'm absolutely going to do those paintings, and that's the shift I'm taking in my life. I'm moving from selling other people's art to selling my own. I may still sell some of other people's art, but my focus is going to be the immense amount of wondrous arts and things that I'm going to create. And maybe in the next week or two, the video and what I'm talking about will be done while I'm actually putting words on canvas too.
Yeah, send me the link when you're done.
Okay.
Are you going to edit or you just...
No, this is flipping live, so it's as soon as this stops recording, you can look at it on YouTube. And so that's what's so dangerous about it. I had, I've been recording myself doing sessions for, like 10 years. And then I put a few of them last year on YouTube, but I didn't promote it in any way, and there hasn't been 1,000 views in a year, and typically they only listen to 5 minutes of an hour and a half or something. So let's just say nobody's seen any of them, except a few friends of mine that are, moving in a crazy direction too. So, so if you're inclined to be of assistance, that would be a beautiful thing for me. And at the very least, it would be a blessing for me to come and see you with some of your friends, so that I can learn what it is to, try and move a group into, greater experience of harmony.
Oh, I would love that. Yeah.
Okay. So, okay, well, we'll wrap this up. For you, I might ramble on some more afterwards, but Anna, thank you so much for saying yes. And I just asked you this morning, and I thought I promised I'd do this again today, and I haven't lined anybody up. Who do I want to talk to? And you were what came to mind, and so thank you, and thank you for being so easy, because it wasn't a struggle at all for me. You allowed me to be free, and thus I did better for it. So that was your gift to me. Thank you.
Oh, thank you.
All right. Have a beautiful evening, and I'll talk to you soon.
Okay. All right. Bye,
Bye-bye.
Dave. Good luck.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
What do I say after all that? Yeah, I said it. I felt it. I felt it. I said it. Doesn't seem to be magic, it's moved me, but it hasn't transformed me. It's made it better. It's a little bit better every time. So looking to increase the gradient, and this is what I'm doing to increasing it, even though, again, there's one viewer and he works for me. I know that at some point this will mean something to somebody in a good way. So thanks for watching. Watch some more. There's more on the channel. And it's, I'm not sure what the channel name is. It's not my name, David Newren. It's like The Oracle or something. You could search on YouTube for The Oracle, David Newren, or Gringo Shaman, something like that, and you can find it. And there's some others to watch. So yeah, please watch, please share, and please somebody be crazy enough to say, yeah, come on, Dave, it's my turn. Have a talk with me. I can show you. I can show you what you need to be free. You to me. How about that? You can see where I'm stuck. Everybody can. So somebody guide me through this. And I'll do my best to assist back. With just as much choice to be of service to you. So find a way to experience wonder right now within your own heart, despite all your troubles and pains and sorrows. I certainly have mine. But why should that hold me or anyone else back? Your sorrows aren't supposed to be permanent. Your pain is not supposed to be eternal. Your limitations are just supposed to be temporary, a little detour, and then you're back on track, man. It's not a sentence. It's not for eternity. It's for that moment, and then that moment's gone and it's done, and you hadn't experienced it. It's not for you to be that way continuously and never create freely again. Stop that. Stop stopping. Stop stopping, man. Open up and be free. Say, what's next for me? What would make me scream in laughter? And say, oh my God, yes, yes. Why not? Why not? Yes, for you, for me. For all of us. Find a way to yes that blesses humanity. Find a way to yes that makes you free. Find a way to yes that ends the insanity of all of us. Find a yes where you transcend, becoming just a wonderful blessing to this reality and to all humanity. Find a way to open yourself into that experience and expression of you. And we can all have a lot better time here. With you being here, there, and with us is that. Well, great. That's helping something. That must mean that somebody in the future shifted. At least, I'd like to think that. I'd like to think that that caused somebody to say, all right, I heard you. I get it. My toe's already in, man. I'm wearing my favorite swimsuit. The water's divine. See you in the mists of time as one who flows through them divinely. Thanks for putting up with all this. If anybody did, God bless you. And good night.